My name's Morton-Collings. I'm a contracts manager here at WRS. Right back when I first started, I was taking a reference for a candidate. That reference happened to be a manager for one of the major operators in the oil and gas industry. That reference was for a candidate that I wasn't using at the time. It was more of a means to an end and a way for me to speak to that company. So I took the reference. It was a solid conversation. I had a good chat with the guy and got on with him quite well. It was quite an off-the-cuff conversation, which is how you want them to go. Hit it off with the guy. Towards the end of that conversation, of the reference, as you know, with any reference, I decided to ask him if there was anything we could do for him. We weren't working with this operator at the time, so I was looking for a lead in there. The guy himself said that he couldn't help me. He said that he didn't have any positions available, but he gave a knock on the glass window and the partition behind him, and he shouted to somebody in the next office and asked this guy if he wanted to speak to me. He put me through. It was another manager for the same company on a different operation. This guy needed somebody straight away. He needed a drilling supervisor, which is what I was recruiting at the time. So he gave me the spec, we went through the details for what he was looking for, and I went away to find the guy for him. I actually found him the guy the same afternoon. We had the candidate interviewed and offered all within the same afternoon. It started to go through. They gave us a preliminary contract, just a one-off for the one candidate, and it was a couple of weeks before the guy was due to start, and the candidate called me up and had I think, a bereavement in the family, and he wasn't able to go. So we were faced with having to phone the operator and tell them that we'd dropped the candidate. Before I did that, I spent the morning researching candidates again. I just dropped everything, worked solely on it, and came up with another candidate. So when I called them the first time, I had a candidate to give them rather than giving them the bad news. Again, we had the candidate interviewed and offered within the same afternoon. Again, we went through the process, we signed up a preliminary contract, and again, 2 weeks before he was due to start, we got another call, and this guy, I don't know what else had happened, but he wasn't going to accept the job, and he dropped on us again, the second one. So I did the same thing again, went to look for another candidate, and luckily found a third one. Again, we had him interviewed and offered within the same afternoon, and luckily that guy stuck. A few weeks later, this was the UK operation for this operator, and a few weeks after that happened, I got a phone call from this operator's head office in Europe, and one of the head managers there had a call from this manager in the UK who told him about this sterling job that a lad in Manchester had done for him, that he hadn't seen this kind of performance before, and he thought they should have a chat to us. They called us directly. They asked us to tender for the worldwide business for them. We tendered for the worldwide business for them, and they put us on full contract. We're now a year in to that full contract, which is a 3-year term, and I think within the last 6 months we've been confirmed as the top provider to them for the upstream drilling and completions positions on a contract basis worldwide. The key to it, I think, all the key to any of the recruitment that you can do is about not giving up. It doesn't matter how many times you're going to fall down. As long as you pick yourself straight back up again and carry on going, keep plugging away at the basics, it'll definitely pay off in the end.